Hello and welcome. It's me and Richa for Fashion Lifestyle Magazine, the celebrity chat show, where we have another brilliant celebrity all the way from Telangana, a doctor by profession, a pediatrician by profession, but not a normal doctor, not a usual doctor, not an ordinary doctor, shall we say. Well, he indeed deserves to be a celebrity for what he does. So let's, without wasting any time, go over to Dr. Pradeep Kurapati, who's right in the middle here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, to all the followers of, viewers of, and readers of Fashion Lifestyle Magazine. A very warm welcome and greetings to Dr. Pradeep Kurapati. So, Dr. Pradeep, our followers and viewers, they would be in thousands now and probably later over the next 2, 3 days. I mean, I mentioned about something special in you, and I didn't want to spill the beans myself. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Dr. Pradeep.
Hi, sir. Hi. Hi, Dr. Shahrukh. Yeah. Yeah, myself, I'm Dr. Pradeep. I'm a pediatrician by profession. Yeah, from Khamman. It's a district headquarters in Telangana. It's near Hyderabad. So I've been practicing since 10 years as a pediatrician here in Khamman. Yeah, I run a hospital with the name Kurapati Children's Hospital. And of course, I run another two NGOs. One for the girl education. It's named Shrika, along with my school friends. And the other one is called YUMA. Usually, we basically work for the youth empowerment. Yeah, that's the thing. And I work a lot for these thalassemia kids. Previously, we used to run an NGO for thalassemia, and right now I'm associated with Thalassemia and Sickle Cell Society, which is placed in Hyderabad. Recently started a branch in Khamman, which helps around 200 to 250 thalassemia kids for their blood transfusions and their medicines and all those. It was like almost like we have adopted these children for their transfusions and medicines. Yeah, that's
So
about
being a
me.
being a doctor, Pradeep, I'm sure these tough times have been tough for everybody, specifically for doctors being the frontline warriors. So how have been your journey from last 1.5 years during this pandemic, being a frontline warrior?
Yeah, of course, this last 1 year has been really tough. So, of course, the last lockdown, when we actually started the lockdown, we had very less cases, in fact. So that the reason behind that lockdown was to avoid the spread of disease. But unfortunately, the lockdown was lifted, and hardly initially we could see some very few cases. But the past 6 months, 5 to 6 months, has been very tough, and especially in our state and all the South India and of course throughout India, like past 1 or 2 months has been very tough. The cases have been increasing a lot. A lot of cases we could see and a lot of deaths we could see. Seriously, it's been a really tough time, and unfortunately, like we're expecting a third wave. Where, as a pediatrician, I'm worried about is lot of pediatric cases. A lot of children are going to be affected. That's what all the studies says. That's what all WHO and CDC says. A lot of pediatric patients are about to get infected.
So, Dr. Pradeep, indeed, it's been a very tough time for the medical fraternity. And you being a pediatrician, as you rightly said, I mean, both the scientific and other forecasts, the data forecast, they say that the third wave, which is expected probably even before the end of this year itself, could be. I mean, the virus seems to be very smart and very organized. But it's targeted the old people, then it targeted the younger, aged people, and now I think it seems to be, segmenting itself in attacking people, which is very sad. I mean, let's hope and wish it doesn't happen. But Dr. Pradeep, I mean, what makes me what is very intriguing in your personality is, I mean, I know thousands of doctors. The magazine is based out of New Delhi, and across the country, we know many doctors. And when you qualify as a young doctor, which you are, you just been 10 years, or for doctors for 10 years is still considered very young. I mean, the aspirations are to, of course, you have a hospital, but aspirations are to have a big nursing home, big hospital, be an internationally recognized medical professional, be a nationally recognized medical professional, make a lot of money, and be rolling in money. While doing your duties as a doctor, all doctors, there's nothing bad in that. But what is extraordinary in you is the tarka of the touch of philanthropy. Not many doctors that I know will be probably thinking of philanthropy and adopting children and fighting out and running NGOs and so and so. So this is, I feel, Richa, and I think Richa would agree with me, and so would our followers. This is the real doctor who heals, not just from his education, but also from his heart. So where did this philanthropy get into you, and why didn't you think like other doctors to make a lot of money, make a big name, and have big hospitals and hospital chains and nursing homes and so and so? So how did that seed get into you?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the question, Dr. Sharad. Yeah. See, first of all, like all doctors are good at heart. See, that's what I've seen. See, it's not that I'm supporting my profession. So usually, all doctors we are known for our patients, right? See, of course, some people see it as a profession, and some people see it as a business. Of course,
Yes.
it's just like a normal profession. Of course, we are. It's not like we are making only money. It all depends on your separate individuality, right? You ought to work, you ought to enjoy, you ought to earn, you're for everything. So, of course, I've used my profession. So I just believe in one concept. You just don't run behind money. You just work dedicatedly and with discipline. Of course, money will be behind you, obviously. That's the only concept, and I've been believing all these years. Uh, of course, even I was not born with a silver spoon. So almost all the doctors, like say this, you usually say doctors, it's a guaranteed profession. So you can plan your finance, you plan your economy, everything, and you can plan your great family, you can help your family in any way. uh, I strongly believe in, the only thing is like don't ever run behind money. And coming to this philanthropy, what you've asked. See, of course, I was initially like my family background is like that. My role model has been my dad. My dad has been my role model. So he was into service. Uh, I've grown seeing him. I've grown watching him do all these social activities and all. So of course, and usually in the medical college, it's like the first year you get ragged a lot. Of course, people are fortunate now. The medical students now they don't get ragged usually because there are different laws and strict laws now. Of course, I shouldn't. I don't know. I should say, or I should say, ragging has helped me a lot. You'll know what people are. You'll get to know what patients is. That has helped me in uh, many ways, and that has helped me making many friends, including the seniors, the juniors, everything. And fortunately, like I've done my MBBS and MD from a different state, Karnataka, where it was multicultural. I had friends from North India, friends from almost all the states in India, so I could talk to them. I could spend some time with them. I've learned a lot. I've learned what's life in a medical college. So, and I've seen the pain. I've seen the sufferings of the children, all this. And once I came here, I just thought I'd do my DM and I'll just work in a corporate hospital. I'll just do my 9 to 4 job and just sit at home. But my family didn't want that. Initially, I was completely against that. But somehow it happened. Like initially, 1 year I was working in a medical college as an assistant professor. In 2011, I've started my practice. Slowly, I could get interacted with a lot of people, a lot of politicians, a lot of people around here. I could see their pain. I could listen to pain. I just somehow something. I just felt that I should do something for the society. So I've seen the pain. I always wanted to work for these thalassemia kids. In fact, even when I was doing my MD, because I've followed one of my patients in Bangalore. So I've seen him suffer. I've seen him die in front of me. So I just thought I've seen their pain. I thought I could do something. Have to do something for these thalassemia kids. As everyone knows, these thalassemia kids need to be blood transfused every 21 days or every 1 month throughout their life. The only treatment would be the bone marrow transplantation, which would usually cost 30 to 40 lakhs. And unfortunately, these children are very poor. You could see these disease This is in non usually consanguinity, where the consanguineous marriage are taking place, and usually these are below the poverty line, very poor children. So, and later after that, with my school friends, we have started a NGO called Shrika, where we would adopt these girl children who are very good at academically, very good, and very poor in financial background. So we would adopt these families and these children. We would support them academically. Like I could proudly say, last year we had an MBBS student who have passed out with the help of Shrika. See all these,
Oh,
yeah, these are my
wow.
activities.
Amazing, amazing indeed. So, Richa, Richa, what Dr. Pradeep said, something which could be the catch line for this show, that do not run behind money. Just do your job dedicatedly, and the money will follow you. I think it's a wonderful mantra for any professional, not just a medical professional, for any professional. What people do, I find these days people doing the other way around. They run after money, and then they plan dedication, that let the money road be built first, and then the dedication will come. Whereas this is the mantra which I think, no wonder Dr. Pradeep is extraordinary rich, isn't it?
Absolutely, Sharad, and so true, because the number of educational summits which keeps happening, they talk about money, they talk about success, but it's actually the experience of people like Dr. Pradeep, who are true role models for everybody, who actually make people understand that, you do good, things will come back to you, and things will come back to you in a very, very successful and beautiful way. So, Dr. Pradeep, we talked about, and it's really commendable. Hats off to you. But I would also like to
Thank
know,
you.
because I also own a social initiative. What is your vision of the beautiful initiatives which you are taking? And what do you aspire to do more in terms of? We already have heard your part of the journey. But how do you see yourself in terms of these NGOs, maybe 3 or 5 years down the line?
Yeah, I told basically like my first target has been working for these thalassemia kids. So right now I'm associated with Thalassemia and Sickle Cell Society, which is based in Hyderabad, uh, which takes care of all the thalassemia kids throughout the Telangana. Our vision is thalassemia free Telangana, and of course, and later we are planning to target thalassemia free India. Right, thalassemia free Telangana. Only thing is like these are two parts in treating any disease, right? One is the treatment part, and the other one is the prevention part. So it's not like only we treat these children and uh, transfuse blood, and we also work for this awareness of this disease. So most of the people, we could see most of the tribal areas in North India, South India, wherever you could see a lot of consanguineous marriages happening, and lot of prenatal tests are not done by the gynecologist or whatever, and just because of their unawareness. So what we do is we just try to create some awareness regarding this disease. Only thing you can avoid this disease is the first part: avoid consanguineous marriages within your families. And if you, unfortunately, if you get married with your cousin or within the family, just get a test called HbA2 just before you conceive. That's what we advise the pregnant ladies who are planning for their pregnancy, and that should be made mandatory for any married couple before they plan a child. So, of course, it's not only about the consanguinity. There are carriers. There are 5% of all the population in the world are thalassemia carriers. Once this thalassemia carrier marries other thalassemia carrier, the chances of uh, giving birth to a thalassemia child are around 50%. So any married couple, you better get. There are a lot of there are hundreds of genetic disorders which can be avoided, which can be prevented only with this prenatal test. We need to make aware. We need to make people aware of all this. And the other one is creating awareness regarding this blood transfusion. So, this blood transfusion. A lot of people have some misconceptions regarding this blood transfusion. So every 3 months, a healthy man or a woman can donate blood every 3 months. So these thalassemia kids are in hundreds and thousands. They need blood every 21 days, every fortnight or 3 weeks. They need blood transfusion. So our concept is like some 3 or 4 people, like at least 8 people, adopt a thalassemia child. So it'll be on a rotation basis. That thalassemia kid can regularly get that blood from these 8 donors. That's our concept we're working about. So our target is a thalassemia-free Telangana by the end of 2025.
Fantastic. And Dr. Pradeep, do you know that thanks, Ritika. Ritika is complimenting you. A lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get inspired by Dr. Pradeep over the next 48 to 72 hours as they watch this show now and later. Dr. Pradeep, a very inquisitive mind of mine, is wondering. I mean, I'm sure you've got a very well running hospital in terms of money coming in. But then, I mean, how do you fund these NGOs? I mean, do you self fund them, or do you have a do you have an open arm approach where anybody can come and contribute? And would you like to speak out a message for people in case it's open to everybody or whatever? I mean, or is it self funded? Because I mean, it's a personal preference.
Yeah, till date, like thing is like for my YUMA, I've never asked a single penny to anyone. Uh,
Wow.
I've been running the show single-handedly with my efforts. And
Wow.
regarding this thalassemia, there are few donors who usually donate for these medicines of the children, and which every penny is accountable. And once I've associated with Thalassemia and Sickle Cell Society Hyderabad, we don't need, because they have a lot of funds and they work exclusively for this. Um, I would like to tell about a great personality, Mr. Chandrakant Agarwal garu and Ratnavali garu. These both have been working sincerely since past, I hope it's a 15 to 20 years, exclusively for this thalassemia children. And I'm very happy that I'm associated with these people. So there are a lot of people who fund voluntarily. And coming to Shrika for the girl education, so we don't usually ask funds from any of them. Our school friends, like 10 or 15 of my school friends, we all together have started this NGO. And right now,
Wow.
we have never taken any funds, accepted or taken any funds from other people. We usually annually, like we contribute ourselves, and we see to that all the children are supported financially and academically. That's the thing.
Wow, that's amazing. So we have a message from Debashi's doctor who wears many hats. Congratulations, Dr. Pradeep, for being on the celebrities. You're truly a frontline warrior, yet a celebrity. Being well, Debashish, thank you so much for your compliment. But I feel, Richa, that Dr. Pradeep, for me, is the real celebrity. And after his last answer that he gave, that for the NGO, he's self-funding it. The school friends, they just put in money, and that money funds girls' education for thalassemia as well. It takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of intention. It takes a lot of good thinking for being able to shed out your own money for others when you can very well open it and let others contribute as well, isn't it, Richa?
Absolutely, Sharad. And these are true spirits of helping and working for the society. Because while we talk about getting ATG, talking about social initiative, doing this and that, and while a lot of people are doing it or trying to do it, here a perfect example, Dr. Pradeep, who talked about self-funding his initiative and making sure his vision is also commendable, Sharad, because talking about it, eradicating the problem is something which we all talk, but he has his planned vision, his planned steps to be taken for the same. So, Dr. Pradeep, coming back to and talking about pandemic, and since you talked about the third wave hitting I mean, now we're talking about children, but we have a lot of our viewers because since being fashion lifestyle being a media house, what precautions you would like to give to people who are watching this show? Since we know that third wave is round the corner, and so there might be issues in terms of lot of cities are opening the lockdown from the 1st of June. So, what precautions you would like to highlight to our viewers?
Yes, see, I would say you have to. COVID has been a part of our life, and it will be a part of our life. That's for sure. So, to expect a herd immunity, at least 80% of your surrounding population has to be affected. So hardly, I feel with the second wave, you could see some 40%. And for the herd immunity to start, you can expect herd immunity at least in another 2 or 3 years. You may need another 2 or 3 years. So always in the third wave, we are expecting a lot of children being affected. Uh, so always the three golden steps again. Better avoid social gatherings. In the same three golden steps, use sanitizer, the social distancing, the physical distancing, and wear your mask thoroughly. These three are the golden steps always, and wherever you are. So I would suggest just come out of your home only when you need. See, I would say in a simple language, the virus doesn't move. The virus itself doesn't move. You move, the virus moves. So you stop moving, the virus stops moving, and you can stop the spread. That's the golden rule.
But Dr. Pradeep, before we wrap up, I have just a couple of things. Of course, our last question would be your message to the magazine and its followers. But before that, I'm very curious because you just spoke about the virus doesn't move on its own. I mean, we need to carry it with us to put it onto somebody, and that's how it spreads, and that's what lockdowns are all about. But when it comes to children, I mean, children for the last 1.5 years, they have been confined to their homes, no school, only confined to the screens for online classes, the exams happening in MCQ formats or whatever. Basically, their life has been on the screen, either if it's for the classes or probably online games or probably watching movies, watching their favorite shows. I mean, they have been confined to, but my question is that although, I mean, you being a pediatrician, I'm sure, I mean, child psychology, I am told, is part of pediatrics. I mean, you have to understand the child's, what goes on in child's mind to be understanding
Of course.
child's physiology and biology, basically. So, I mean, how do you think children of the age group of, let's say, from 5 to 16, 17, will cope being confined to the screens and their homes and not to step out, not to move for 2 or 2.5 years? I mean, how is the mental health of children? Because we found adults succumbing to it. I mean, even adults are finding it hard now to stay back home, confined to the four walls of the house. But how will children? Because children's mind is not that developed. Yeah, I mean, you cannot rationalize and say, okay, fine, there's a virus outside. I have to. But for a child, it's, I mean, whatever counseling that you do, I'm sure parents and teachers are counseling. But from a pediatric point of view, what do you suggest to the children? I mean, how should the children manage?
Yeah, Dr. Sharad, yeah, you're right. See, the last 1 year, 1.5 year, been very tough, including parents. It's been really tough. Yeah, coming to the screen time, usually normal screen time, which we suggest as pediatricians for the children, is 1 to 2 hours and not more than that. And of course, this 1 year has been completely different. So there are a lot of problems with increased screen time. So, but you can utilize that screen time with, there are a lot of apps which would really help the kids, not only watching your favorite shows or watching your cartoons or watching movies. So there are a lot of apps which are used for education also. So you can suppose you could see the Byju's app. There are a lot of apps which can help you in academic also. The schools are shut down. There are a few online classes and few schools are not running the online classes. So for those children, you better make some physical activity apart from the screen time. So at least in your home premises, you have to spend some time with your kids, talk to them, and you're fortunate enough that even the job holders are getting some time to spend quality time with your kids, and you should feel very fortunate enough to have this time. And I don't think, see, a kid who's going to the kindergarten, their academics will not be much affected. Of course, middle age, the primary school and the secondary school age group are very much affected. But even those people, those children, they can use these apps which are very active on the internet, and some physical activity has to be there. You have to encourage them doing some physical activities, at least the cycling or some swimming if you have a private pool or something like that. Some physical activity must be there. And the counseling part, you should see, a lot of adults have gone into depression. because
Yeah.
they couldn't go out, they couldn't spend time with their peer
Yeah.
group, with their friends. So, but always kids are happy spending some time with their parents. So, very rarely and very less pediatric psychological problems we've seen in this 1 year. So, it's almost always it's a duty of your parents, the parents, to take care of these kids, um, and make proper utilization of this screen time. That's all.
Wonderful.
But I
And last
feel,
but not the least, yes, Richa. Last but not,
but I feel
don't forget to take the last message for our viewers from Dr. Pradeep.
definitely. But I feel, Dr. Pradeep, while you said that this is the best time to spend time with children with their parents, but जो केजी के बच्चे हैं, जो फर्स्ट के बच्चे हैं, उनके तो जो क्लासेस हैं, parents are taking. So instead of spending quality time, it's the number of hours which they used to send their kids to school and enjoy and have their own time. It seems that they are struggling. They have been coping up, and in fact, if you are active on Instagram, you must have also seen that there are reels which are going viral talking about kids to come out and play, because every time they are on screen, if they are not studying from maybe 9 to 1 o'clock during their school time, they are doing something or the other only on screen. So there are videos which are going viral which talks about them going and playing. This has been a tough time for everybody, but as it says, tough is not impossible. So I would request Dr. Pradeep to say a few last words before we end the show.
Yeah, as a doctor, I would only suggest just take care of your kids. The third wave is probably on, and all the studies says 80% of the cases which we see in the third wave are pediatric cases. So just take care of your kids, and probably government of India is planning for the vaccination. See, right now most of the people who are getting vaccinated are 18 plus and above, and the trials are going on for the pediatric vaccination. So unless and until your child or yourself get vaccinated, just don't try to come out of your home, and always stay home and you'll be safe. That's a golden message. And take care of kids. That's all.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Pradeep. That was wonderful. Absolutely a pleasure. I think the magazine is delighted to have a person like you, a true celebrity, I would say. I mean, although you are a celebrity now because of a celebrity show, but I mean, both me and Richa and the magazine team feels that you were always a celebrity. I think the real celebrity is someone who can take the pain of the others on one's own self and still be happy. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was absolutely a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, till we are back again in the show, the Celebrity Chat Show, goodbye, good luck. Do take good care, as Dr. Pradeep said. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.